People everywhere, massive corporations, major institutions, even whole governments are suddenly having this light bulb moment about XRP. Meanwhile, the XRP community, we've been screaming this from the rooftops for over a decade. XRP ranks among the most practical cryptocurrencies humans have ever cooked up. Always has been. Still is. And let me tell you, for moving money around, it absolutely destroys the competition. The transaction speed is borderline ridiculous. Oh, and the fees? They're so microscopic you'd need a magnifying glass to care about them. Literally pennies split into tiny pieces. This all traces back to how XRP was architected under the hood. Look, the fact that it solves actual problems in the real world is obviously why everyone from your neighbor to Fortune 500 companies to entire governments is suddenly paying attention to what XRP can do. But there's this one ingredient you absolutely cannot manufacture in a lab or write into code no matter how shiny and new your cryptocurrency is. Experience. Time in the game. XRP has seen some things. We're talking 13 solid years of operation under its belt, and you know what the report card says. It passes every test. Drop a brand new coin on the market tomorrow, and you're basically gambling. Will hackers tear it apart? Does it have any longevity whatsoever? Can it actually handle growth when things get serious? Or are there catastrophic design flaws lurking underneath that render the entire project worthless? With XRP, though, none of that keeps you up at night. History has already written the answer. It gets the job done. Which brings us to why we're even talking about this today. Take a look at this headline. So Crypto Basic dropped this piece just yesterday. Tucrium CEO says XRP is a modern Jpmorgan rival. The guy is breaking down XRP itself and also getting into some of the moves Ripple is making with it. Plus, I've rounded up some fresh XRP metrics that are going to blow your mind. These numbers are straight up incredible. I try to loop back and show you these updates whenever something noteworthy pops up. Real quick though, need to put this out there before we jump in. My financial expertise? Completely non-existent. I'm not your financial advisor, and whatever I'm about to tell you shouldn't be the reason you hit that buy or sell button on anything. This CEO hasn't shut up about XRP for the entire year of 2025. Seriously, look at what dropped earlier. April 23, 2025. Tucrium CEO says, "We chose XRP because it's the coin with the most utility and true use cases." We're talking about Sal Gilberti, the head honcho at Tucrium. Reporters were hounding him because he just pulled the trigger on launching a 2x leveraged XRP ETF. There's one quote in particular that really says it all. Direct words from the boss himself. Okay, so why am I hammering this point home? Because I need you to understand the caliber of person we're discussing here. This whole XRP thing isn't just our little fan club getting excited. You've got some of the sharpest minds, people who've crushed it in the financial world. And that's Sal's entire pedigree. This CEO came up through the traditional finance machine, the suit and tie banking establishment. And what's his take? XRP is a no-brainer, so this isn't just the two of us losing our minds over digital money tokens. XRP has legitimate reasons to exist. We're vindicated people. Here's exactly what came out of his mouth. We chose XRP because we believe it's the coin with the most utility. It's not just speculation, it facilitates real transactions. Ripple is a team of true professionals. Those are his exact words. Then things got spicy when he appeared on Bloomberg, and someone hit him with the classic pushback. XRP only exists for people to gamble on price movements. He wasn't having it. He fired back saying, "Nope, you've got that completely backwards." And this is the best part. What he brought up next had zero connection to Ripple. He pointed out that real-world assets can be tokenized on the XRP ledger, slashing expenses and cranking up efficiency. This isn't theoretical, it's live right now. And he's absolutely correct. Money market funds have been tokenized there, US government treasuries have been tokenized there too. These aren't play-pretend assets. Companies aren't experimenting with this because it's trendy or makes for good PR. The technology fixes legitimate headaches that regular businesses and individuals deal with constantly. Then came the cherry on top. Oh man, you're gonna eat this up. Here's what ran on August 1st. So check it out. And this is coming from Bitcoinist, which makes it even better. Teucrium Fund's CEO reveals XRP Fund is most successful in 16-year history. Okay, so Teucrium's been doing their thing for a decade and a half plus one. And in all that time, every product they've rolled out, nothing's even come close to how well this XRP ETF has performed. We're talking their absolute peak achievement here. Why is that happening? Simple. Actual human beings want to buy XRP. This isn't manufactured hype. Those bitter Bitcoin maximalists can keep screaming into the void for all I care. The numbers don't lie. Legitimate cash is flooding into this asset. They've got their favorite line they love repeating. Oh, the XRP army's fake. Just a bunch of automated accounts, they claim. That's honestly one of the weakest arguments floating around, and it falls apart immediately. Because if that were true, who exactly is buying in? Whose dollars are these? Total nonsense when you think about it for 2 seconds. But wait, there's more. Teucrium CEO says XRP is a modern Jpmorgan rival. Absolutely spot on. The banking sector, yeah? Here's the interesting twist. XRP doesn't have to destroy banks to be valuable. It can work with them. Think about using XRP as a bridge currency. That's probably the easiest application to wrap your head around, but there's a flip side too. XRP creates opportunities where traditional banking infrastructure becomes optional instead of mandatory. That whole be your own bank slogan that Bitcoin people throw around. It doesn't translate well for Bitcoin, except maybe as a wealth storage play, but with XRP that concept genuinely applies. You could cut ties with traditional banking if you wanted to, getting easier by the day too, particularly as digital wallets stop being this niche tech thing and just become normal infrastructure everywhere globally. The technology's already there. You can legitimately substitute XRP for conventional currency in real-world scenarios. Multiple pathways exist to accomplish this. Layer 2 tech has basically cracked the code on this stuff by now. Trying to move things around on Bitcoin's ancient blockchain, that's like trying to race a horse and buggy against a sports car. So depending on how you look at it, XRP could absolutely disrupt the banking world, or it could team up with it. What's really going to happen down the line? The banks still standing 5-10 years from now won't look exactly like they do today. They're going to have to transform themselves. Take their old-school finance DNA and splice it together with this whole new ecosystem that's forming around decentralized systems and cryptocurrency at large. Maybe they become the go-to place for safeguarding digital assets. Maybe they expand into a dozen other services around crypto storage and management. The playbook for survival has plenty of pages they can flip through if they're willing to read it. Traditional banking's not going extinct anytime soon, but individual banks, absolutely some will go under. The stubborn ones clinging to 1950s business models are going to face some brutal headwinds. So the article spells it out like this. XRP is at the center of an effort by fintech giant Ripple to create an ecosystem that rivals top financial institutions like Jpmorgan. Current CEO Sal Gilbertit is bullish on Ripple, expressing his confidence in what the XRP ecosystem is building. In a recent interview with top pundit Paul Barron, the CEO boldly claimed that Ripple is on track to compete with the apex companies of the traditional banking system. Before I